I got a couple things in the mail. This is going to have to replace one that it couldn't have but 250 miles on it. And I watched it go from, oh, that's not lighting very easily. So I think the pressure switch has gone bad and we're going to replace that today. Nicky's only been together for about a year. It's got about 350 miles total in that year. And when I put it together, I put a brand new pressure switch in. And here it's already failed. First thing I'm going to do is double check to make sure that it's not the bulb or something. Okay, so now we're going to have to dig into the wires. I really suspect it's the switch. And I'll just check to make sure that everything's working down the line. High speed, high caliber ATV and motorcycle. It's supposed to be good for both. So here you go, a brand new pressure switch. I know this is going to fix it because I had it happen once before on a different XR600. Well, I sure hope this one lasts longer than the last one did. So we're going to heat shrink right down over the top of the end of the pressure switch there. I guess I'm going to wrap this with tape. Okay. So we're ready to install now. Ready to install. We can go ahead and put that on the bike now. So that's why I had to change this today. A little bit of a tricky spot. You don't want to burn your wire on the exhaust right here. So I have a way I'd like it to go through. And what that amounts to is kinking on back behind here, going over the top of the... We need to go over the top of the brake line clip or whatever to hold the brake line away from the exhaust, over the top of that. That gives us something to hang on here. So essentially the wire's coming up out of the switch there and just hugging the top of the brake line away from the exhaust. So we're coming up over the top. We're going to mirror the brake line here and strap it. Now we've got to get the wiring back together here. I just have to bleed the brakes. It actuates really easy. I swear the old one got to where you could not make the bulb light any longer. You push as hard as you can and you still can't get it to light up. We'll get the ignition and the stock system does operate. Okay, well I'm going to go ahead and hook up the switch temporarily at this point, even though I still need to bleed the brakes. That way I can double check and make sure I can light the brake light with it. Get all my wires back down where they belong. My battery sits perfectly in this location and is secured from jostling around right and left by Velcro. Nicky's lighting them up. Okay, Nicky, now we gotta bleed your brakes. Of course, you gotta have your brake fluid .4, and I need a receptacle that I can have some brake fluid in, and a rubber tube long enough and the right size to fit on the nipple over here, and go down into the bottle and stay submerged in there. So you loosen up your little fitting there and get your tubing on. Okay, we want the tubing down inside the fluid, so in this case I need to get that right down to the bottom. So now it's a bleeding process, and after you've pumped some fluid out, you want to close this once more before you let up. So we got to do that over and over again until we've seen that there's no more air escaping, and at the same time watch our reservoir to make sure we don't run out. So here we go. Okay, so that's good, and we should have brake lights. Yeah, that lights up the brake light to stay out of your air box. You want to make sure you get your seat on right. Here's where I'm finding that people are failing a lot. They're setting their seat down in place and not looking underneath to make sure they haven't crimped this water seal for all the water underneath your rear fender. So you're putting your seat on. You want to make sure you get your seat on right. Setting their seat down in place and not looking underneath to make sure they haven't crimped. Stay out of your air box. As you drop it down into place, you need to take a look under here. There's just a little slot for that to fit, and it's perfect. Well, mine's slipped right into place. Rear fender, because it's not jacked up. You're not just screwing through the Norel plastic of the seat base. This water seal for all the water underneath your embedded within there, which you really don't see, is a metal bushing, and it's a special bushing. That fixes that up. Let's try this one more time. We turn on the power for me, and if you press the brake switch, see, we've already got power to the tail light, and then there's the brake light. Works good. Oh, we're recording? I do have one other thing. I'm gonna go on a little test ride.